Hey y'all, it's Felix Fletcher here, back with another Elden Ring build guide. I'm going to be talking about my favorite build today, which is based around the sword of Knight in Flame. A sword that requires faith and intelligence to use, but you can get it pretty early on at the Carrion mana. So basically, let's look at stats first. I'm 153, my vigor's 50. Your vigor will probably be low. Mine was 10 for a long time because I really wanted to use this sword. My mind is 25, although you could probably do 20 for a while. Endurance, we don't bother with that. Strength and dex will both be 12 just to wield our weapon. My intelligence is probably 60. I may be wearing a talisman. Let's look actually. Yeah, I'm probably take these off so I don't confuse you, but so my intelligence is 60 and my faith is 58 right now. So honestly, with my characters with 80 intelligence or 80 faith, this seems to be just as good, honestly, and I get the best of both worlds. So there's my stats. My main weapon, which I got early on and was able to use pretty early on, but I only had 10 vigor and I would die in like one hit. So this is for advanced, unless you just want to do it a little bit slower. So this weapon, you hold L2, and then you push R1, and you shoot a beam that's kind of like Comet as you This is so good on bosses. Now, if you push L2 again, but this time you push R2, you can do an area of effect flame attack. Now the range usually is pretty good on this. It's a little hard to judge sometimes. So that's the only level 10 weapon that this guy really needs. That sword is just probably one of the best weapons in the game. So now let's talk about his spell casting stuff. So I go for the Golden Order Seal. Boost Fundamentalist Incantations. This one needs 17 Faith and 17 Intelligence, so not every character will be able to use it, but this is his seal. We're not messing with any of the other seals, except for this one to kill Millennia with, but that's whatever. Alright, so his main wand is the Prince of Death Staff, and that is because that one scales boosts damage of death spells. So yeah, this character actually gets to use death spells. But I also went ahead and upgraded Gelmir Glintstone Staff a little bit, so she can get in Volcano Manor from the spellcasting snake there, because it boosts lava sorceries, so that's his other main one. And we'll just kind of keep the Azur Glintstone Staff as a backup, but most of the time we just use Prince of Death. I went ahead and upgraded the Coated Sword just because it scales with Faith only, and he doesn't really have a lot of weapons. And of course, Rivers of Blood is just for Millennia, just to change my character. This character's bow is the Erdtree bow, which scales with Faith, and the crossbow is the Full Moon crossbow. So those are pretty much all of his weapons. He's pretty simple on weapons. Although as armor goes, I like the Sage armor, but we also wear the Radiant Golden Mask because it strengthens Golden Order incantations, and you'll see when I use my spells that I really like those. But we could switch that out for either Azur or Usat's Glintstone Crown, because those raise certain spells. Or you could do this. This is one of my favorite because it increases intelligence by a lot. So whenever you're casting spells, this thing you can't go wrong with. Alright, let's go over his spells. So early on, we get Rock Sling and the Meteorite Staff at 18 intelligence, and we get Lightning Spear at 18 faith. That way we can just, rock it out with those spells early on, because that's all you'll need to get far enough to get Comet. And so his main spells... Oh, I actually have this backwards for some reason. I wonder why that is. I put Spinning Weapon on the Prince of Death Staff because you can actually put something on it, but apparently you can only put one thing on it. So, one of his main spells is Comet. Oh shit! I like the Sage armor just because it kind of goes with the deck Archmage theme. Now his other great spells. This is just good for any faith spell. It clears poison and Scarlet Rot, so you'll definitely want to have that one. Lightning Spear, like I already mentioned. Oh, and all the death sorceries. So this spell's great. It does seem to do like physical damage like Rock Sling, so it can knock things down. Kind of reminds me of some of the Dark Souls, Dark Orb spells. So that's one of my favorites. But this character usually ends up using these Golden Order incantations. So this one, it's like a boomerang, so you can hit things twice when it comes back. Super amazing. I can't even begin to describe. Now, there's also a triple one. Keep in mind, all these spells take intelligence and faith, so not every character is going to have them, and they come back, so this spell is just absurd, honestly. What you can do with these spells, I can't even begin to describe, because enemies don't seem to be able to dodge them. Another one I like is this one, the Radagon's Ring of Light. It's just kind of an area effect version. So yeah, mostly he uses these Golden Order incantations, and I have this mask equipped to boost him. And do, like Faith, or his talismans are really easy, either Faith or Intelligence, or the ones that decrease damage. Definitely the one that decreases short spellcasting time. Let's go see if we have any other spells. Obviously, Pest Threads will be used to defeat the Elden Beast, which is a Faith spell. And he wants to use all these magma ones with the Gelmir staff, but honestly, I don't use them. I just use the easy ones to use. Although Rock Sling isn't on here for some reason. And these are all the death spells that are increased by Prince of Death staff. So I'd really like to get into using that. Let's just kind of check them out. I think this is just a weaker version of this. Yeah, so we don't really mess with that. And Fia's Mist is kind of a fun poison mist spell, but I think it's considered death sorcery. So yeah, the Archmage is definitely the best character I've made. Just because the Sword of Night and Flame is ridiculous. And Ancient Rancor is good, but we can just use... Okay, so that's kind of like that. That's what that does. Let's see if it's... Ooh. Nice. You get these spells from like the Death Birds, which by the way, they're kind of tough. But that triple Ring of Light spell I got from the Erdtree, we'll hit it over and over and over, and that's actually how I beat the hard one that's out by the Apostolate Derelict. So yeah, this is the deck, my Archmage. Favorite character so far. Of course, he is my fourth one, so I'm quite experienced at this point, but this Sword of Night and Flame is absurd. And I like the Prince of Death staff, which you get from Deep Root Deaths. So yeah, that's my final build. Archmage the deck. Hope this helps you out in your own adventures in the lands between. Thanks for watching.